Hey guys, it's me, Judge Osman. Welcome back to the video. Today, we are hopping back into FTB Skies 2. And since last episode, I have done a few things. I'm not sure if anyone can look around and notice that there are some additions. You saw I completed the armor, which wasn't that hard to do, all things considered. I had to get netherite, which meant I had to get diamonds, so that's what this is for. This is just a very basic productive metalworks foundry. I followed exactly what the quest told me to do. I got the right amounts and I built it. It's not that hard to do. And then all you do is you put your diamond or your iron armor or whatever armor you have that is able to be upgraded into here. You tap on the tap and it turns it into diamond to netherite. We all know how that works. And I was lucky that, I'm not sure if it's on video or not, but I got a smithing template a while back from a fairy or an allay or whatever they are, and it traded me a netherite ingot for this, so I didn't have to go out and search for them in a chest. So that was pretty nice. I added this right here. Basically what this is in short terms is it just automates all of the mechanism things. When I go in here I can request. I did it so I can get these universal cables and then eventually whatever other things I want to use. But I have all of the infused alloy, advanced circuit, reinforced alloy, elite, basic, everything's automated. So I can request, if I really wanted to, 1,000 of these and start, and they'll all go through, and this will go through, and then one of them will go after. Yeah, see, now this is gonna go, and then this one's going, and then this one's going, and then it's crafting them. So I did that in between episodes, and I made this soul extractor right here so I could take whatever I wanted and then put it into a soul jar. So that's what I did. And I created more seeds over here just to get more essences, and then I have this whole 9x9 area that's solely dedicated to inferium seeds so that I can get a bunch of inferium. I moved my chests from here to over here, and I added a bunch more just because this is super easy storage and it doesn't require me to make a whole bunch of drives, and they're all in chests. So I mean, I could do this and it would be really a lot smaller, but I don't really care that much about it. But going back to the armor, I crafted the armor. I told you, not that hard to make. I already had almost everything able to be auto crafted, but then it comes down to the cards and the upgrading of it. So I made everything that I could. I have water breathing, auto feed, magnet, luck boost, night vision. I'm not going to read all these off, but you can see what I have, and all you do is, I think it's just like this, yep, and you see they're all right here. Like the walk speed, you just need the quantum upgrade base card, which is made like this, which I already had all of the things automated for, and I just made everything that I could with the materials I have right now. I did go out and I killed some evokers there was an island. I'll show you what it looks like on the map. At one of these islands, there's pillagers and evokers that spawn, and I just killed some evokers, and then I got totems of undying, but I upgraded the armor. And then the other thing that I did was I started working on some productive bees. I told you that I wouldn't go too far into the mod pack. I got a little bit carried away. I still haven't done even like scratched the surface of the amount of bee. Like if I go in here and I type in bee, all of these bees are possible for me to get, I believe. And I only have 3 different kinds. And then I have all of this set up back here. If I go down here, I have this elevator disguised as a grass block. Then I have a little bit more, so I'll explain to you, and I'll start right here. These are the expansions and the advanced beehives, like I told you about, that I would make. And then there's feeding slabs underneath here. You have to place it 1 block down in front, otherwise they will not work. In these two, there's dandelions, as you can see, because I just have normal bees in here, in both of them. In this one, I have crystalline bees, and you get these, the crystalline bees, from a quartz nest and putting nether quartz on it. Now, the quartz nest you can craft with quartz in netherrack, which you are able to craft, which is better than nether quartz because you can't craft that. So these have a quartz and netherrack on the feeding slab, so they're producing a bunch of netherrack with their honeycomb. So you can see right here the crystalline comb this can be put in a centrifuge, and then it gets turned into 1 to 3 nether quartz, wax, and honey, because just have the powered centrifuge. And that's down there, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then right here, I have 2 supremium bees. Now I have these 2 supremium bees because what I have over there was just so I could get the bees. But I have a stack of supremium essence. And each one of these supremium essence is, if I go right up on over here, 256 inferium essence. So if I do the math here, we have 64 times 256, 16,000 inferium essence just from the supremium essence. And one other thing I forgot to show you guys was, so I have this all going, and it's auto crafting all the way up to supremium essence with the quantum crafter. And I don't understand this fully. I pretty much have a grasp on it, but I'm sure there's a lot better things you could do with it. But I have all the essences in here, and you can configure them. So if I wanted to make sure I always had 80 in here, then I can make sure I have 80 inferium essence, but no limit. So I just have all of these as 0, 0, so it just crafts all the way up to supremium essence, and then I can use that to craft whatever. But I told you how to get these bees, the crystalline bees. Now, in order to get the supremium bees, you need the supremium bee spawn egg, because that's the only way to get it. In order to get this, you need the Imperium bee spawn egg, and you just go down the line until you get to the Prospera bee spawn egg, which you need to take a honey treat with a gene sample, which I'll get to in a second too. You combine that with an egg in the incubator, which I have right here, and then that gets you your egg. So in here, I have a gene sample with 9% productive bees prosperity. So you take, all of mine are children right now, so I can grow them up if I just craft some honey treats, which are part of the mod. So if I take 20 and 1, now I have an adult prosperity bee. And with this right here, a bottler, I have bottles in here. If you put a piston on top, if you leave it extended, it does the exact same thing, so I just do that because it's easier. And you place it down, then you see it makes its dying sound, but now I have squashed bee material. And then I take this squashed bee material down into the powered centrifuge once this clears out, because I only have 1 right now and they're not very quick. So it's going in, I put it in there, and then it's going to be a bunch of gene samples. So then if I go in here, this is all automatically imported into my system as well. So if I go in here, take some gene samples, it makes 6. It's the different traits of the bees, which I talked about a little bit last episode, which I don't care about. And I put them all in this gene indexer, which is powered and on with the lever. And I put them all in here, and it automatically, there we go, now it's doing everything. But now I have a 34% gene sample for this, which means it has a 34% chance of succeeding and turning into the egg. So I'll get 1 more bee that's an adult, and then I'll place it in here, let it get squished. Then I'll come downstairs, place this in here. Once it goes, very, very slowly, and now it's going to go through, and now I have all my gene samples. So then I'll grab those gene samples out of here, go put them in here, and I have a 55% chance one here. Now I'm going to try it just to see. Chances are, more likely than not, it will succeed, but it is not 100%, but I'm just going to show you guys. So you saw what I just did, how I combined it with, I didn't talk through that, so I'm sorry. But I put the gene sample, combined it up here with the treat. Now I have this honey treat, which you can see the type is Prosperity 55. I'll put that right there, and I put the egg in, and now it worked. So I have a Prospera bee spawn egg. So what I'll do is then I'll go here and I'll get the blocks, and then I'll show you guys what I did with the automation for the infusing of this stuff. So down here I have a chest and then a bunch of pipes that lead to every single one of the pedestals. So all I have to do is I put that in the middle, and then I'll put these in here, and then it goes, because they all go to the right spot, and it doesn't really matter where they go. One thing you do have to place it down again before you can start crafting with the next one. Like you can see right there, it's not going. I have to take it out and then put it back in. So now we have a Supremium bee, and I'll take one of my sturdy bee cages, place down that, place down, or pick him up in there, and then boom, now he's in here and doing good. So I have 2 more Prospera bees. I'll just put those in there. I tried to change myself back to 2 blocks tall again with this personal shrinking device, but it doesn't work. Normally this puts you back to your normal size, and it's using power, but it's not doing anything to me, unfortunately. So I am stuck 3 blocks tall. Now, though, since I'm not going to be working on those bees for right now, so in order to go to the end, you can see right here that I need to kill the warden because I do need those skulk blocks. And in order to kill the warden, I can go to a certain nether structure, which is a Fargo's dungeon, which definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be an easy thing to do. So that's why I have this sword, which is sharpness 5. I made my new armor, and I'll get my compass out, my explorer's compass, go to the nether. Well, actually, I do need this, and I'll make one of these, which, like the same thing I did with the wither, I'll be able to do this one for the warden. Alright, so I found something with the name Fargo, which I assume is where I'm supposed to be heading. I'm going to fly over here and hope for the best. I'm not that far away. I can't see it on the map because the map loads so slow, and my random distance is not that high, but it looks like I'm almost here. So this is apparently where I'm supposed to be going. I'm gonna hope that this is not some big thing that's gonna end up actually totally destroying me. Oh, this is definitely... I have to kill 6 wardens. Dodge that. Oh, this is... Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad. That wasn't bad at all. Okay. Well, I was very scared for that. I can now upgrade my food, though, finally. I've been waiting a long time to do that. And I have all this skulk in here. Jeez. This is great. I was very worried for pretty much nothing against the warden. I only found 1, unfortunately, so I can't really do much else. I mean, I assume that once that timer's done, but I'll mine these up. And now I have all this. I mean, that's great. I'll just go home and I don't have to do as much as I thought I was going to do. I was really worried for nothing there. It turns out I already have this. I have this. I can get that. Now I just have to go through Oritech until I can get this. So I'll scroll down to the mod, and it doesn't look like it's too far. I mean, I have to get to the flux gate, but I'm just going to follow this. I'm going to build a nice platform. I mean, I might as well just do it right next to this. Alright, so I just made this another room. I have decided that I like the dome that I created last episode. So I'm just going to be making a bunch of them. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing. A good shape, it's big, and I can have each one for like its own thing. So I may eventually remove all of this stuff and put it into different rooms, but that's not something I'm going to be doing right now. So first things first, we have to start with what it says to do. So I have to automate these things. So I need magnetic coils, and then I need motors. And I can very easily do this, and then do this. I should have a bunch of nickel. Yeah, I have a bunch of nickel. So that's not something I'm going to have to hopefully really worry about. I'll get a motor, and then I have coils apparently already. Claim those quests. Now a foundry. And how do I easily get electrum? I can't easily get electrum. It will require me to go a little bit into Ender IO. I'll place this down so it has power too. And I need a capacitor. So boom, boom. It should be going. And another thing that I did was I created this temporal pouch, and I've used a little bit of it, but I've been playing for 4 hours. since I crafted this. And so I have 3.5 hours on here. That's just me doing whatever I want. And that's what you guys don't see. Because as much as I enjoy making videos on this stuff, it is nice to sit here and just do whatever I need to do and not build anything. But now I have a foundry. And then on the foundry, I need to do something else. I need 3 machine cores. That's right. There we go. And now I have that. I have a foundry. Hook that right up there. And then right here, I'm going to get a pattern provider. I don't need the extended one, but I'm getting it anyways. So then that will mean I need the wireless connector. I'll just make some of them real quick. And now I can connect this up and it should be online. Yes. So now I should be able, like if I wanted 10 of them, it should, yes, it is going to be crafting it. It should be relatively slow because I don't have any add-ons. But then I did also just remind me, I did do one other thing in between episodes. And I did this right here, which is the G-Ore budding diamond G-Ore. Because I was not getting very many diamonds and I need a lot of diamonds. So this is just faster. It's the exact same thing as this with Fortune 3 and the Annihilation Planes, and I have it set up to the same chest with the same type of filter. So it's essentially the exact same thing, just a different resource. But I figured I'd let you guys know. And then, I also do remember that I need pipes for this. Oh, but I have a bunch of inventory already. And then like that, there we go. Now I have 10 of these. I'll complete the quest. Now I need an assembler, which isn't that hard to make. And now I have the assembler. So I'll do the same thing, and then I'll place down these, and boom, now that's good. Get another pattern provider, another pipe on here. And see, normally when you click it once, it does something, but it's like invisible, and even though you can still interact with it the same way, you just do it again and it looks the same and it actually works. Place down the line. And you can see the fun little animations every time these go up. You guys can see them. I'm not like hiding them or anything, but I haven't talked about it yet. So, but you can see them. They do exist. So now I have 3 of these machines. In here, I'll do this one. And then I'll also do this, which means I need cold dust. So I'll go to my crusher and I'll get that. But now I have this done, this done, this done, and now I just need to get the lens and also connect both of these up. So now I can do this, and I can put that in there. If I want one of these lenses, it should be going everything. The centrifuge is gonna be spinning, and now this is gonna go, and this one just crafted what I needed it to. And it's nice to actually see the things go from like the machine to the machine. And now I have the lens that I wanted. So I need to make this fluid add-on. Now I have a processing unit. Complete this quest. And then now I need this fluxite. And it says to do it with this mod, but I don't really want to do that. And this amethyst shard is so much easier with the power mod. So I'm genuinely just gonna do that instead. I made a hoe that's a premium, so it's unbreakable. And I did the same for over here, but I can't really access it. And then I just have the pipe going across, as you can see. But I was tired of the hose breaking, so I just made one that was unbreakable, so that wouldn't happen again. So I think I found a way to do this. If not, I'm gonna have to go on a much longer journey to get all of this that I really don't want to do. Oh, platinum. That is what I needed right there. So now I have platinum. What I am actually going to do is I'm going to scratch this and come over here. My identification chamber. I'll take out this chip and I'll get my platinum. And I'm glad that I did this because I wouldn't have even thought about this. But if you shift on here, you can see what it's made out of. I go in here, I put it in the memory chip, and I'll be able to get platinum. So now I have it in here. I put the chip in here. I go in here, and I'm gonna get a stack of platinum. But I need the flux gate, and I should be able to request it. And then I come over here. This is gonna be crafting that, and then this will craft something. Now I have a flux gate. So I have the flux gate. And that should mean that I have everything. Well, the teleportation core is super easy. That's going to be a crafting recipe to make an end portal. So I'll put this in the assembler, fly my way on over to here, put that in there, take this other platinum that I crafted up, and now I should be able to, I need 12, and I have everything to craft the 12 of these. So then if I just come over here, all I need to do is wait on this machine, and I should be able to go to the end now. But now I have these end portal frames that should complete the quest over here. I got this and this. I didn't do either of these because I didn't really feel like doing that. And I don't think I'll be able to break this once I place it down. So I'm just going to go over here to where I don't really care. I'll get some cobblestone. And the last one. And now my end portal's open. I don't need blocks because I can fly. I have my sword, my armor. And it said that this fight is going to be harder somewhere. I don't really remember where, but it said it's going to be harder, I think. So let's go through, and we'll see. And see, now I can access this anywhere, which is great. The easiest end fight you'll see when you can fly, and not just elytra flight, but jetpack flight. They are all destroyed now. I am, what is it? I need one of these, a model framework. I want to see if I can just fly up to it and click on it. Yes, there we go. Almost dead. So let me get end crystals and just spawn it right back in. So while you see me getting this egg here, I unfortunately somehow managed to mute my mic, so there is no audio of me talking for the rest of this video, so I'm going to do what I can to voice over what I'm doing. But other than that, the rest of this video, I'm going to try to make it as short as I can because this is a pretty bad situation that I'm in right now. So here you see me. I went through the end portal that opened the things that teleport you to the end islands usually, but there's no islands because we're in Skyblock. And I found an end ship, and I just killed some shulkers, and I got the elytra, which I did almost forget, by the way. But I realized my mistake, and then I go back and got it. And now I'm going over to this castle. There was nothing cool in there, so I'm just going to cut it out. But I thought that you guys should see that I went there, even though I didn't really get anything from it. And then, since I killed the Ender Dragon, and I got the prediction matrix for it, I decided to set up another system of the hostile neural networks so that I can get the drops from it. I did also forget to put power to this, so that's something you do have to do. But I can either get the dragon egg or I can get the dragon's breath. And I decided that for this, I should get the dragon's breath because I believe that it will be useful later for different crafting recipes. Now I've decided that I want to make the flight upgrades for my armor, but in order to do that, I do need to get into the Ars Nouveau mod, which I talked about early on into the series. But in order to get started and to craft everything, I need to get the wood. So I'm going out and I'm breaking all these leaves to get the saplings so that I can make the wood and the trees grow that I need to. So as you can see right here, I got my saplings. I'm going to connect this chest up to my main system, and I'm going to place down the bonsai pots in which I'm going to place down all the different saplings so that I can get the wood without having to do more work for it. But now I have the imbuement chamber, and this does go very slow on its own, so there are ways to speed it up by putting source nearby, and that's what I'm planning on doing. So I craft a source jar, I hook it up to the system, and then I make this Vitalic source link, which when placed down near things that are dying, it generates source. So that's what I'm doing down here. I'm going to go put it next to my mob farm, and then when it's running, it will fill this source jar up, which will import the source into my system. But I'm looking at it and it's not working, which is when I realized that I do need to actually do something else. I'm not going to do it right now, but I need to make a source cell. But now what I'm focusing on is crafting more with this mod. So I'm using that source in the jar to speed up the crafting of the source gems so that I can use those source gems to craft source stone. And then with that source stone that I can make pedestals, and I'll use those pedestals to craft another crafting material, which is a manipulation essence, which you can see I just crafted just now. But then now with that manipulation essence, I'm going to actually use it to craft something. And what I'm going to craft is the source housing cell, which I just tried to make. And oh, I need the enchanting apparatus. So then I have to craft that. And then I place it down. But then I also need the core underneath it. So in order to make the core, I need more source gems and I need more source stone. So I have to place down the imbuement chamber again, which then I can finally make the arcane core, which you have to place down underneath the enchanting apparatus. And then when you click onto it with an empty cell, then it will do its little animation and then it will craft it. And then now, as soon as it's done, I have a ME source cell housing. And then after taking that short little detour into R's and getting some automation set up, I am now crafting what I actually need, which is going to allow me to get flight without using the jetpack and while using my armor. So I just have to wait for that to craft up, which is what I'm doing right now. So now it's time for me to actually put those essence to the use, and I'll make Void Shimmer Goo, in which I'll use diamond blocks and ender pearls to get Celesti gems. But before I do anything with that, I have to dive into actually additions and empower some gems, which I just cut all through because it's just a bunch of micro crafting and I didn't feel like showing that. But all you have to do is combine stone, coal, charcoal, and black dye into a void crystal, and then you get an empowered void crystal, which you can use to craft the gate. And then the fight was pretty boring and loud, so I just cut it all out. But now the warden's here, and as you saw before, it's not hard to kill, and I killed him, and there we go. But now that I have gotten everything I need, I make the flight card, I also make the flight drift card, and then I'm installing them. But then after this, I'm going to be messing around with them and seeing how the flight drift works. And from the way that I understand it, the lower the number is for flight drift, which you'll see me open up in a second here, the lower the number for flight drift is, the less flight drift there actually is. So I set it as low as I can so that as soon as I stop, then I actually stop. So I don't have to worry about drifting all over the place and being somewhere I want. But this is the end of the episode. We did a lot today. Sorry my mic was muted so you can't hear what I'm saying. But I'm pretty proud with what I did today. And I will see you guys all next time. See ya!